Good evening, all. Welcome to the Masterclass Prepare for Change. This is part two. We're very excited that you've come back here for the second part to carry on from where we were before. Assuming everyone's seen part one, but just in case you've come straight in at part two, my name is Sam, and I'm a TT Healing instructor with From Head to Heart.
And I'm Susie. And together we run the business, and we really focus on inspiring people, putting people back in their power so they can take control of their own lives and really thrive instead of just ticking along.
So just to briefly recap on what we did in part one, first of all, we looked at rising above the noise, fear, and panic. So we challenged some of the perceptions or preconceptions about certainty and uncertainty. We looked at how much we control our own environment or our environment controls us. And we looked also that change can be perceived as something that's difficult. Often it's difficult because it's forced upon us. Actually, that uncertainty can be really nice when we have a calm and stable environment, that we seek out uncertainty in order to create fun and joy. And that's absolutely fine as well. We then went through and cleared some beliefs. And by clearing beliefs, they empower us because they give us greater control of our emotions and our reactions. And they also bring an element of certainty to the uncertain. If we know we can trust our emotions and we have certainty with our emotions, then even when the uncertain does happen, we can trust ourselves to be able to manage and handle and deal with those situations.
Yeah, and the next thing that we really focused on was hearing your inner voice and trusting your intuition. So we all face times of uncertainty, of unknown, of pressure, of overwhelm, things we can't necessarily control. Now, we spoke about, last week, we spoke about moving beyond the ego. The ego is this part of ourselves that actually is very much helping us. It's helping us making decisions. It's helping us to stay safe. It's guiding us. But when the ego gets out of balance, then it becomes egotism. And the egotism is really holding us back. The egotism is this kind of, sometimes we turn a little nasty towards ourselves or others. That's when the ego takes control, but then the ego takes over. So we need to move beyond that so we can be in control of the ego, and then it stays in balance. Now, when we are in control of the ego, then we can allow that higher guidance to come in. And when we receive that higher guidance, we are receiving like a protection from above. And that allows us to listen to our intuition better. And we spoke about practicing your intuition, how to trust your intuition more, how to live more from your intuition. So that we all did last week. And eventually we came to the conclusion that a lot is linked to the mind. When we know how to play with our minds, when we know how to change the focus of our minds, it will make life a whole lot easier. So the key is, and we will talk about that today as well, the brainwaves in our minds. When the brainwaves go up and go fast and go higher, things like stress, overwhelm, anger, losing control can all take place. So if you want a quick fix, one of the easiest things is to start calming down that brainwave. Because when the brainwave calms down, you'll get back to your center. And that we will talk about today, because that is building that foundation that we need in order to prepare for change.
Okay, so we're going to dive right in with this first part, and we're going to look specifically at how to build or building your foundation to be prepared for uncertainty. So I like to start these sections with a quote. So I've got you another quote today, and this one's from Oprah Winfrey. She says, "I believe luck is preparation meeting opportunity. If you hadn't been prepared when the opportunity came along, you wouldn't have been lucky." Interesting. It's that link between preparedness and opportunity that opportunity we think is external and independent of us, but actually by preparing, we can create the luck that brings opportunity into our lives. So when we look at building a foundation, there are many different ways to prepare ourselves for change. And it's much easier if we know what it is we're changing from or aiming for. Because once you've got clarity on what it is you're aiming for, actually, you know what that result is and you can work towards it much more easily. So, for example, if I were to say, I really want to run a marathon, that's a known distance, okay? I know I have to run 26.2 miles or 42 kilometers, okay? It's a known thing. And by knowing it, it doesn't mean that it's easy or difficult, it's good or bad, it's hard or challenging or worthwhile or otherwise. But what it means is that I can be prepared because I know exactly what it's going to be. I can set my intention, I'm going to run that distance and do the preparatory work for that in order to be able to do it.
Yeah. So we have a couple of questions for you. We'd like to make this interactive. And so we're going to use the Zoom poll. And let's see if this works. It's the first time we're using it. So the first question is, who of you actually sets goals? So you can click on the screen if you set goals or not. Let's see how many set goals. So let's see if everybody has answered, or yeah, I think most people have answered. Most of you have answered. So we actually have a very good group. We have 77% of you set goals. Very good. Okay. So that's the second thing, Natasha. Natasha said, I set them but never reached them. That has to do with your beliefs. And actually you reach a lot of your goals, but you might not recognize that you reached them. The next question is, who has a list of goals in their head? Okay. So quite a few have a list of their goals in their heads. It's about 83%. Brilliant. Last question. Who of you takes the time to write down your goals? Yeah, it takes a bit of time. It takes effort to write them down. Who actually does write down their goals? Good. Has everybody answered? Almost everybody has answered. Okay, good. So 42% write down their goals. Brilliant. Thank you for participating. So there's been done a research, and the research has shown that people who set goals are 42% more likely to achieve their goals if they are written down. So when you write your goals down, you're 42% more likely to achieve your goals. Now, out of that research, 83% of the people that responded or participated don't have goals. 14% had plans in their head, but weren't writing anything down. And only 3% had written down goals. What does this mean? Well, it means that overall humanity doesn't work with goals so much. They are not having that motivation. They're not really focused on their next step. How prepared are we in life? And writing down goals, having clarity on what you're looking for is part of building that foundation. It's part of preparing for change, preparing for the unknown. Because when you set goals, you're already working towards the next thing you'd like to achieve. And I'm very glad to see that in this group, mostly theta healers or people interested in spiritual growth, there's a lot of people who are way more motivated. They're motivated to move forward. They're motivated to achieve. And you can see about 77% of you had goals, which is huge.
Fantastic, and thank you all for participating in the little poll quiz there. That was good fun. So we can see here that even for the easier elements, i.e. setting goals and stepping forward with them, a lot of people still don't do that. So that's when you have something that you know you're working towards. Now, what is less easy to prepare for, what is more difficult to prepare for, is when you are trying to prepare for the unknown. You're preparing for an unknown situation with an unknown outcome. Now, it's more difficult, but it's definitely not impossible. And some of the ways that we can do this, I'm going to go through a couple of different strategies here and things that people use to prepare for change. And you can see when we break them down that actually we can start to categorize things and get our head into it. So the first one is to prepare for external events. So this could be something that happens to you. Say, for example, when you're preparing for a particular event, it could be that there might be a fire in your kitchen. Well, how do you prepare for that? Well, you just buy yourself a fire extinguisher, make sure your smoke alarm has got a battery in it. You could prepare for bad weather. You could take a coat with you in case to stop you getting cold and wet. Say you're going on holiday and your plane or your train might get cancelled. Well, you could prepare by having insurance to be able to claim the money back. There's lots of skills, lots of things that you can do to prepare for these specific events that happen. So they're sort of very, very easy low-level ones. Stepping up for that is trying to prepare for any or every external event that happens. So rather than this be a direct event and reaction to it, these are things that might be happening on the other side of the world or in a different part of our lives that isn't so tangible. Example could be that there could be an economic downturn that might not directly affect you on day one, but 2 months, 6 months, 2 years down the line, you might start to feel those effects as they filter through and impact you. They're big and they're complex, but they're full of unknowns. That every downturn is different from the last. Every contagious disease is different from the last. Every event that happens in a country, whether it's at war or peace or through a natural disaster, is big and complex, and they all affect differently every single time. So we know to prepare for this sort of event, we can, again, take some proactive actions, even if we don't know exactly what the result of the outcome of the action would be. And this could be simple things like making sure we've got enough food, keeping some extra tomatoes or some bread in the fridge, making sure we've got enough water, shelter, make sure we've topped up our rainy day fund. So we've got that extra little bit of cash just in case that something happens that we weren't expecting, and we've got some protection there.
And by the way, if you don't have a savings account or you're not focused on saving, it's a good time to start, because the times in the economy are changing and you might need a little extra cash.
So the first two are preparing for specific external events, and the second one is more preparing for general external events that can happen to us by second and third order effects. But the third thing I'm going to look at is how we can prepare ourselves for absolutely anything and everything, including internal events as well as external events. Now, what do I mean by internal events? I mean things that happen within us, inner conflict, emotions that come up, moral dilemmas that we're facing, challenging times where we're confused and not quite sure what to do. These are the most unknown things, and yet they're actually the most likely to happen to us during our life. But they're not easily put in a box with a simple answer. So the way that you can approach this third strategy is essentially embracing a mindset of growth. This challenge that is put before you is always an opportunity for growth. Having a mindset that embraces the unknown allows that third strategy for you to overcome any obstacle that's in your way. Taking action is part of preparing for the unknown. So when you come on this masterclass this evening, we're going to give you some guidance and some strategies and some tips on how you can further prepare for change. But simply taking the action to be here tonight is already preparing yourself for change. So the first, doing strategies 1 and 2, is a mixture of common sense, life experience, being aware of your surroundings, what's going on in the world, and as well as learning from experts or from coaches or from people who know what's going on in a particular area. So tonight we're really going to focus in on this third strategy. How can you prepare yourself for absolutely anything and everything, internal and external, that may happen to you over the course of your entire life? Well, we believe the key answer here is to seek out opportunities for inner growth.
And opportunities for inner growth are everywhere. They're not just with us. They will come on your path all the time. What do we mean? It's an understanding of what is inner growth actually. It's better understanding who we are. Who are you? You're not just your name. You're not just a label that people put on you. You're not just your job role. Who are you? So what we mean by seeking this opportunity of inner growth, it's getting a better understanding of who you are. Why are you here? Understanding not only yourself, but also the energies around you. How are they impacting you? Why are they impacting you? Understanding the higher guidance you're receiving. When are you receiving higher guidance? When would you like to receive the higher guidance? Having this conversation. Often you can speak, when you set the intention to speak to the Creator, to speak to your angels, you can often start that conversation, and through your feelings, through your ideas, through your thoughts, you get the answers. But are you open for the answers? Are you open to receiving it? And are you aware that you're receiving it? Because you getting a good idea after you've set an intention is an answer from the higher guidance. You having somebody coming crossing your path after you ask for something that has a solution for you is again an answer from the higher guidance. Often we're not even aware of it. We set an intention. A day later, it happened. It resolved something big for us, but because it happened, we aren't even aware that it was a thing. We've already moved on from it. Hey, let's start realizing what for beautiful things you have achieved, what beautiful guidance you've received. Maybe even getting the prompt to this masterclass or seeing this as a replay is part of the inner guidance. I had a beautiful experience in Portugal recently. I was in Portugal and I ended up being alone on the terrace. I was walking on the beach and I literally heard my angel saying, you need to go and sit on that terrace. So I was like, okay. So I left the beach. I went into this bar and I sat there by myself. I ordered myself a drink. I was like, okay, I probably need to calm my mind down, calm my brain waves down. It's like, okay, that's nice and relaxing. Let's watch the sunset. And this lady in front of me started talking English and she said something and she was sitting alone there. And I said something to her after I heard her speak on the phone when she hung up. And we started this conversation. I ended up sitting with her together at the table. And we had this beautiful conversation about spirituality. And she said, a couple of days ago, I really asked for some guidance. I really asked for some help, for somebody to give me a steer on what to do next. And you know what? If I hadn't pointed it out to her, she might not have even realized that this was one of the answers that she had asked for. And often we don't realize these things. Often we just move on and aren't aware. So let's make sure, think about these things in your own life, that you get a better understanding of that higher guidance that you are receiving. Because I tell you, when you become aware of that guidance that is there, you will see it more and more and more. And you will see it better and better guidance. It's like point out all the red cars on the street. And at one point, you only see red cars. It's like where you focus on, that's what you receive. So what about this inner growth? Set the intention, get a better understanding of who you are, your energy around you, and the higher guidance you receive. It's easy to talk about it, it's easily said, but it's not so easily done. And it requires focus and a bit of determination and persistence to keep exploring this. So what limits us in our inner growth? The main thing that limits us in our inner growth is our belief system. And mostly the subconscious belief system. Why? Because our subconscious belief system holds beliefs that we are not aware of. They're influencing us, but we're not aware that they're there. The second thing that can limit us is our resistance to change. The resistance to change we really discovered and talked about in part 1 of this masterclass. The third one is a lack of motivation and willingness to grow. Wanting to stay stuck, wanting to stay stagnant, resisting that growth, but not being motivated or willing to step out of that to move beyond it. Now, we all have limiting beliefs. You're not the only one. We still have them too. Most of the times, we recognize limiting belief only when negative events or when there's a negative impact on our lives. Why? Because we feel the pain, we've reached the limit, and we are stuck and we are unhappy. And then, because we feel that pain, we are unhappy or we're stuck, we are willing to look at something better. We are willing to explore solutions. Now, then you first have to go deep in order to move forward and rise out of that. So often people only change it when they're open and willing to acknowledge the opportunity of growth. And then they're open and able to move beyond that limit.
So what we're saying here is that a strategy for preparing for change is to continue with inner growth. And what Susie said here is that a lot of the time we only want to do inner growth when we feel negativity. So we could wait for change to happen, wait for uncertainty, and wait for challenge before being forced to grow because of pain or suffering. Or we can seek out opportunity for growth without pain, without suffering, without sacrifice. We can grow without being caught out by the unknown.
So how do we build this foundation? By doing the inner work. How do we get that foundation? And what kind of inner work are we talking about? There's not one way. You'll be guided what's the best way for you, and follow your heart there. Choose your spiritual teachers. Don't just go for the best one or the cheapest one. Focus on what resonates with you, and then you will get your change. Now also, grow your comfort zone, and especially focus on that during periods of calm, during periods where other things in your life are stable. Usually, humans do the opposite. They do nothing when everything is good and stable and calm in their lives. And then things get wobbly, things get usually out of balance, and the fear and the pain get so big that at once they want to be a professional swimmer to not drown. But what we are saying is, start with the swimming lessons now. Because when you get to a situation that things get out of balance, you know how to swim and it will be easy for you. Rise your energy and your level of consciousness above that of the unknown. Therefore, you're not that impacted or significantly less impacted than people who haven't done that. What does that mean? We all have got an energy field. We all have got a level of consciousness. Now, a very simple example. If the taxman sends you a letter requesting that you do your tax returns by X date. And you know how to do the numbers, you know where to find an accountant, and you speak that language, there'll be no problem for you. You won't even get out of balance by that. It's fine. Your energy is above, your vibration is above that challenge, so you're not impacted. But you might not speak the language. You don't know how to do your tax returns. What can happen is you ignore that letter. The first fine comes. The second fine comes. The longer you ignore it, the more challenging it becomes. You've never learned how to deal with this situation. You're not dealing it. You're ignoring it. You're resisting the change. And it will start unfolding in a negative way, because you haven't risen above with your energy above that specific challenge. So what we're trying to say here through examples is you're being prepared by raising your own energy, going above that energy of the unknown, that energy of the uncertainty. When you move beyond that, you won't be thrown out of balance when the uncertainty or the unknown arrives. Again, what we talked a little bit about it in the first masterclass is teach yourself to follow your feelings and your intuition. It allows you to raise above this energy of the unknown, so you're not being impacted or significantly less being impacted. That's what happened during COVID, right? Some people were severely impacted and it was absolutely horrible. Whereas by others, they might have gotten COVID, but they weren't impacted, or they were in general, their life, their business, their way of living wasn't impacted at all, because we all have different energy fields and we react differently on energies. So what do? We clear our beliefs. We let go of the limiting beliefs in order to thrive and move beyond that, in order to prepare ourselves and make a stronger foundation. Right. What's also important that can really help you to strengthen that foundation to be ready for change is to understand why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you doing what you're doing? Check if what you're doing resonates with your heart. Check if it resonates what you want in life. If there's one thing you take away from this masterclass and you're going to do for yourself after this masterclass as an action, might well be this one. Understand why you're doing what you're doing, and check if it resonates with your heart, and check if it resonates with what you want in life. Your feelings steer you on your path, on your life, towards your life purpose. Therefore, listen to your feelings. Don't put them in a box and push them away. Listen, understand, and they guide you. Understand what feels right, what does not feel right. If uncertainty hits, economic downturn, a virus, a bacteria, then calm down your brainwaves. So if uncertainty hits through any of the things that can happen, through the unknown, the main thing is calm down your brainwaves. Stay centered. Be ready for opportunity, even if everybody else might be panicking. To be prepared for change is to prepare yourself to be lucky. What does that mean? To prepare yourself to see opportunity in change.
Okay, so to just close this section off, we've talked about setting goals, and when we have a known aspiration, a known dream we want to achieve, then it's easy to set goals and work towards them because there's something that we can imagine. But for all the things that are unknown, then we just need to focus on working on ourselves. Because when we work on ourselves, then we'll be prepared for whatever lies on our path. And in order to do this, we seek out opportunities for inner growth without needing to suffer. That means we can do inner growth and learn lessons now so that when times of challenge come, we're already prepared.
Mitigating against the downside when the unknown arrives. Now we had a quote. It's from Idowu Koyanaikan. The quote says, "Opportunity does not waste time with those who are unprepared." What does that mean? The opportunity will pass you when you are unprepared or not open for it.
So a little bit of this here actually presumes that the unknown is a bad thing. And actually, we shouldn't assume that the unknown is a bad thing, because often the unknown is actually a wonderful, a great thing, something that brings joy and happiness into our lives. But when it's not something positive, we need to mitigate against the downside when the unknown arrives. So let's dig into that. What do we mean by mitigate against? Well, to mitigate is to make something become milder, to reduce its severity, to weaken it. And what do we mean by downside? Well, we're talking about the negative aspect of something, the negative aspects of change. So really what we're talking about here is we're reducing the severity of the negative aspects of when the unknown does arrive. So the first thing with this really is that when the unknown comes, it's not always bad. It can be good, can be great. But when it is bad, we want to reduce the severity of the negative impacts it may bring. So the way we're going to do this is by going through a couple of questions. And these are some steps that you might want to write them down, and we can put them on the webpage afterwards. But when something happens, these are some steps that you can take. First things first, we'll go through the steps, go through the questions, and then we'll do an example after. So when something happens that is unexpected, uncertain, and it has a negative feeling associated with it, you can ask yourself the following questions. How does this make me feel? First question, how does this make me feel? Second question then is, why does it make me feel like this? Why does it make me feel the way I feel? The third question is then looking at lessons. What can I learn from the event or the experience in the first place? And secondly, what can I learn from my reaction to that event or experience? So again, third question is, what can I learn from the event itself? And what can I learn from my reaction to the event? And then the fourth and final question to ask yourself is, why am I learning these lessons? Why am I learning these lessons?
These are all questions of self-reflection. And when we reflect on our own feelings and our own experiences, it's so much easier to learn the lesson so we don't have to go through it again.
So the reason we go through this is that, first of all, question one, how does it make me feel? This is really about recognizing your own emotions. We talked in part one about things being in our control, out of our control. When we bring them into our control, we can recognize, hey, I'm having this emotion every time this thing happens. That's part one. Second thing is to take interest in the reason behind it. Why does it make me feel like this? Now, if I'm not interested in inner growth, personal development, in spiritual growth, I won't take interest. I'll stay exactly where I am. But if I want to grow and learn and improve, I'll be interested. Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? Asking those questions. The third part then is uncovering the learning. The quicker you learn, the quicker you'll grow. The more life will flow around you and over obstacles instead of crashing into them. This is about growing so that the unknown is something that we can be excited about. Something's happened. I didn't expect it. What can I learn? So what have I learned from this unknown event? And what can I learn from my reaction to it? And then again, the final one is, why am I learning these lessons? This is the really deepest question. And if you can ask and answer this question, then you'll really make very good progress for improving your inner growth.
Yeah. Let me give you an example. So I had a situation today where I wasn't as compassionate with my mother as I should have been. She needed some help with her airline ticket, to get her boarding pass. And I found it very difficult to stay patient and to stay compassionate. Now, I was very impatient with her. So how does this make me feel? It made me feel like I wasn't as friendly. I was a bad daughter. Then why does it make me feel like this? Well, it makes me feel this way because I lost my patience. I was lacking compassion. I was a little rude. What can I learn from this event or this situation? Well, what I was learning is how to be compassionate with people I love, with people that are really close to me. I'm very good at being compassionate with my clients, my students, with people that are in my regular life, but sometimes with the very close ones, I'm way more impatient and I'm way more direct. So it was really for me to learn how to be compassionate with the people that are very close to me, that I love a lot. And then what am I learning from my reaction to the situation? What I was learning is, no matter how spiritually evolved you are, you can always grow further. And then the question was, why am I learning these lessons? And what the answer that I actually got is, I'm learning these lessons to be able to move forward in harmony. So this was just a little example of how I applied the questions to my own situation. Earlier today. And it really let me think, okay, I'm learning harmony. I'm learning to move forward. I'm learning how to love the people I love the most. I'd love for you to do this exercise as well. Yeah, maybe everybody thinks about the situation when they face the unknown, or a situation where there was uncertainty, or when they weren't secure. Think about something for you. And let's do this all together. So a situation when you face the unknown, you face some uncertainty. It can also be a situation you regret. Okay. You all have something? Yeah, good. Okay. So let's just connect up to the creator energy, because it will be way easier to answer these questions when you have that higher guidance there. So let's all connect up to the seventh plane. So allow energy to come from the earth, through the soles of your feet, all the way to the top of your head, into a beautiful ball of light above your head. This beautiful ball of light is going to go high up into the sky. It's going to go past the moon, past the stars, past the universe, because the creator is bigger than the universe. Then it goes through layers and layers of light. Many bright lights, a few darker lights, many, many more bright lights. Then it goes through golden light, goes higher and higher through a jelly-like substance, through a pink mist. This pink mist guides you into sparkling, iridescent white light. This is the light of Creator. This is this divine energy, the energy of Source. Go deeper and deeper into this energy. Beautiful. And now, ask the Creator, what is an unknown a situation where I was confronted with the unknown or with uncertainty that I'm ready to resolve now? If you hadn't had an answer, you will get an answer now. The first thing that pops in your head. Very good. Okay. Let's start with the questions. So ask Creator.
First question, how does it make you feel? Close your eyes. Ask Creator, how does it make me feel? When you receive an answer, the first thing that comes to your mind, you can either make a mental note of it, or you can briefly open your eyes and write it down. Okay. Close your eyes again and feel yourself reconnect straight away with that energy of the Creator and ask, why does it make me feel like this? And once an answer has come to mind, again, you can make a note. And close your eyes again and ask, what can I learn from this event or situation? And then ask, what can I learn from my reaction to the event or situation? If you need to make a note, you can. Center yourself back in your heart. Feel that presence and ask, why am I learning these lessons?
got some beautiful insights. Share with us in the chat. What's been your takeaway? Be playful and stay true to myself. That's absolutely beautiful, Natasha. Some really, really beautiful takeaways. It's interesting that just a few questions can really give some powerful answers, some powerful insight. Jay, setting boundaries. Yes. Good. So do yourself the download from Creator that you know what it feels like and how to set your boundaries. And Marcel, every time will be easier. Yes. Wonderful. Emma, my why was to be free and light, but have resistance showing up. Okay. Yeah. We're going to do some downloads later on. We're going to do a theta healing meditation, and we will include some downloads to clear that resistance. Victoria, I should see situations as opportunities. Grow further and trust yourself. Beautiful. Carrie, self-worth and growth. Dominica, providing myself that I can always find a solution. Proving myself that I can always find a solution. Amazing takeaways, amazing awarenesses. Really, really great. So you can apply this at any time, right? When you want to become aware of these things. Now we've got one more. Doreen, to understand 3D world better and get more stable in my own worth. Beautiful. Amazing. Yeah. Powerful insights. Let's do a meditation on this. If you want to test anything in advance, you can do that. You can test for yourself. You can test through the energy testing we did in the first session. And or you can test, you can test any of the things that were your takeaways. So how do we energy test again? There we go.
So I'm just going to zip up my energy field.
Yeah.
And then say, this is my yes. Lean forward. This is my no. Be leaning back. And then I can test it by saying yes, yes, yes.
And allowing his body to move. Very good.
And then no, no, no.
Okay.
Leans backwards. So that means I'm calibrated and ready to test.
If you're not testing correctly, go back to the first masterclass. We explained the testing in much more detail. So, for example, if you had any of the takeaways that you got, insights that you got on these answers, you can just test if you have any negative beliefs around that or not. So, for example, with Carrie, it was self-worth and growth. So she can test on all levels. I've got self-worth. So let's do that.
So an example would be, on all levels, I have self-worth.
Beautiful. And if that was a no, we're going to do the meditation and we want to change that again. For example, for Dominica, it's knowing that she can always find a solution. So she can, for example, test on all levels, I can always find a solution.
So on all levels, I can always find a solution.
Good. And then she has needing to prove herself. So Dominica might want to actually slightly amend that belief and say, on all levels, I can always find a solution without having to prove myself.
So that would be, on all levels, I can always find a solution without having to prove myself.
Beautiful. Good. So this is just an example. And if there are any beliefs that are limiting you, holding you back in relation to the answers you got with the questions we just gave, you can do a little bit of testing. So we're going to do a meditation now to clear those limiting beliefs. So the limiting beliefs can be changed for empowering beliefs, so they don't hold you back anymore. If anybody has any questions on how to formulate their beliefs, then let us know. We will help you. But you just really want to test that the insights you got, the awarenesses you got, you don't have any beliefs linked to that limit you. Good. So we're going to do a meditation in a minute, but I briefly want to explain to you or let you know a little bit about theta healing, because the technique, the methodology that we use for changing those limiting beliefs and really building that foundation for us is theta healing. Theta healing is a modality founded by Vienna Steibel, a lady in the US. And she has created this modality, and this modality has spread all over the world. It's been like more than 1 million theta healers there are worldwide already. And this is because it's super powerful. It works quick, it works easily, and you're really growing your connection with the divine energy, with the creator energy, as well as by using this technique, you are able to go into your subconscious, become aware of the beliefs you have in your subconscious, and change the limiting beliefs for empowering beliefs, to really empower yourself to grow, to come in alignment, and to be able to really live your life purpose. Now, what is theta healing? Theta healing is a modality whereby we learn how to access this theta brainwave. The theta brainwave is a very low brainwave, meaning your brainwaves really calm down. Now, within theta healing, we teach you how to access this, because when you go into this theta brainwave, you get back to center. You get much more in this calmness. You receive the higher guidance. You have this connection with the divine energy. And you're really going to learn in theta healing. We teach you in the courses, especially in the basic course, we teach you how to scan somebody's energetic field, which is very exciting because we all have an aura. We all have got beliefs that we hold. So when we learn how to scan a person's field, you're going to see how you can help a person, where their challenges are, and how to move them forward. And everything you learn for somebody else, you also learn for yourself, to apply to yourself. Now, what else are you going to learn? You're going to learn how to energy test, how to change limiting beliefs for empowering beliefs. You're going to learn the digging process to really go deeper in the subconscious. And you're going to learn on how to clear energies, how to clear spaces. Sometimes you come into a place and you can feel the energy is not right. It might be a bit spooky, it might be weird, and you're going to learn how to clear that energy. In the basic course, you're going to learn how to talk to angels, how to look in the future. You're going to learn how to really take back your own soul fragments. When we love other people very much, when we really want to help them and to heal them, it could be that we leave soul fragments with other people. We're going to take them back, because when they're with other people, they drain energy. And when we take them back, you have more energy again. So there are going to be a lot of amazing exercises that we're going to do in the basic. Now, if you know this is for you, then we really recommend doing all 4 foundation courses, because you really have a very good foundation on how this technique works, how you can help yourself. And when you do those 4 courses, you also be ready to see, help clients with this. And in the second course, you're going to do a healing on the soul. You're going to speak to a plant. You're going to speak to objects, because everything has an energy, everything has a consciousness. So you can speak and communicate with all of these things. In the advanced course, we're going to go deeper into the planes of existence. That shows you what other things there are out there, what other energies there are out there. And there's way more very cool stuff we're going to do in the advanced course. Those courses are very interactive, are very fun. And you really get good understanding of what's possible. We're going to awaken and let you remember the gifts that you already have. Now, this is just a little introduction, just in case you're interested. But now we're going to show you a little bit of the power that theta healing has. So in the previous masterclass, we tested beliefs for everybody as a group together. And in this masterclass, we have given you like those questions so you can find the things that you want to make sure you resolve for yourself. You can test those. And at the end of this meditation, you can test them again. You're going to see if your beliefs have changed, your limiting beliefs. So they're not holding you back anymore. And at the end of the meditation, you're going to test them again. Right. So are you ready to do a little meditation and to really relax, calm, and clear some more negative beliefs or limiting beliefs? Good. Okay. Then I invite you to close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. Good. Every time when you breathe in and you breathe out even slower, your blood pressure comes down, you release stress, and your cells calm and relax. Now allow the energy to come up from the earth through the soles of your feet, all the way to the top of your head, into a beautiful ball of light above your head. This ball of light goes high up into the sky. It's going past the moon, past the stars, past the universe. And it goes beyond the universe into layers and layers of light. And this also works perfectly when you watch the replay. So you go through layers and layers of light, many bright lights, a few small darker lights, and many, many more bright lights. This is the fourth plane of existence. Then that's where the ancestors reside, the spirit guides, all of the shamans work with this plane. Then you go up higher. You go through the fifth plane of existence, which is a golden light. Enter this golden light. Go higher and higher into this golden light. Beautiful. The golden light is the fifth plane, is where the angels reside, where we have the ascended masters, where the soul families come from. We have the Council of 12 in the fifth plane. Beautiful. We're going to go higher. In your bubble of light, you go higher and higher into a jelly-like substance that has all the colors of the rainbow. This jelly-like substance is the sixth plane of existence. It has the laws of the universe to make sure the universe stays in harmony. Beautiful. You go higher and higher through a pink mist into the sparkling iridescent white light. Yeah, go deep, deep, deep into this sparkling white light. This is the seventh plane of existence. This is the creator of all that is. You can also call it God. It's the energy of all that is, the divine energy, source energy. Beautiful. And from here, we're going to ask Creator. I'm going to call it Creator, but it's the energy of all that is, to do us some downloads, to energetically make some upgrades within our aura, within our energy field, to let everything flow more. And you have the decision to say yes or to say no to any of the downloads I give you. If you want that download, you have to say yes. If you don't say yes, you're not getting it. If you don't want to download, just say no and nothing comes in, nothing changes. Good. So can we start with sending you all lots of unconditional love? Unconditional love is the most powerful way of healing. So when you like that, just say yes.
Yes.
When I have your permission, I'll also do a scan of you. So I will see what you need. Yes, this also works for the replay. Okay, first of all, can we release the belief that uncertainty and change is bad, that it's dangerous, that it's something to resist?
Yes.
And can we show you Creator's highest perspective of change, of moving forward? Can we show you that you're always safe, you're always guided by the divine energy? When you like that, just say yes.
Yes.
What it feels like to be safe, what it feels like to be guided by the creator energy, the divine energy, and what it feels like to trust that energy without being screwed over, without getting screwed over. When you like that, just say yes.
Yes.
And the creator show you that it's safe for you to move forward, that it's safe for you to step into your power, that it's safe for you to empower yourself, and what all these things feel like from the creator's perspective.
Yes.
Can we complete any vows, oaths, energetic contracts that always everything needs to remain the same? That you're only safe when everything remains the same? When you like to release and complete this through the creator, just say yes. And we will replace it with that it's safe for you to receive the higher guidance, that you're always prepared and ready for everything that comes on your path, and that you can handle everything that comes on your path with ease, with love, with compassion, with harmony, with strength, and with inner peace.
Yes.
Let's add joy to that too when you like that. You like that, just say yes. Okay, now ask the creator, see yourself in the sparkling white light, and ask the creator, how does fear for uncertainty, how does fear for change help you? How could it help you? What positive thing? How is it helping you in a positive way? When you have the answer, the first thing that comes up within you, allow Creator to show you what this positive thing, how it's helping you, feels like from the Creator's perspective. The highest definition of this positive thing, and that you can have this positive thing without holding on to fear, without needing fear. without needing fear for change, without holding on to fear for change. When you like that, just say yes.
Yes.
Beautiful. Can the creator show you what teamwork feels like? Teamwork with your spiritual team, teamwork with your higher guidance. That it's safe, you can trust that. And that you have discernment, what discernment feels like. And create this highest perspective of discernment. Discernment means knowing what's right and what's not. Knowing what's right for you, knowing what decisions to make, what to say yes to, what to say no to, how to set your boundaries. And when you like that, just say yes. Very good. Can the creator show you now that you're ready to move forward? It's safe for you to take the responsibility for yourself and moving forward? Can we release you from taking the responsibility from others or for others? Yeah, let's let that burden go off your shoulders. And you like that, just say yes. Is there anything you'd like to add, Sam? Can the creator show you that you're ready for inner growth? That inner growth is safe for you. That you're being guided to what the right thing is for you. And that you know how to recognize this with ease, without resistance. When you like that, just say yes. Breathe deeply. Yeah, allow that energy to move, allow that energy to shift. Beautiful. Now I'd like you to go back to the sparkling white light from the creator. See yourself in the sparkling white light. And do a good sparkly shower. You can do a shower with water, you can do a shower with sparkles, whatever feels right for you. Shower yourself off of all the energy that you let go. Good. Wonderful. Then when you're ready, you can take a deep breath and open your eyes. Good. How was that for you? Did you enjoy that meditation? I see some smiling faces. I see some nods. Very good. Beautiful. Amazing. Oh, thank you, Jay. So if you tested something previously, you can test it again, like your yeses and your nos. If you had a limiting belief that was limiting you, test that belief again and see if that has shifted for you. Because you will see most beliefs will have shifted. Dominica, it was very strong and powerful. Doreen, wonderful. Such a change to before. Amazing. Sabina, thanks a lot. Wonderful. Again, if you want to check your belief, you're going to stand up again. First, you're going to test your yes. See if your body moves forward. Then you say no. See if your body moves backward. When you're testing correctly, then you're going to say the belief. So, for example, what it could have been, let me just quickly look in the chat. We had, on all levels, I can always find a solution without proving myself. She's going to test that again. And that should now be a yes. Or what else? Yeah, for Carrie, for example, she can test again on all levels. I have self-worth. And that should also be a yes. So test the belief that was relevant to you and let us know in the chat if it has changed for you. Heike, it's all cleared. Wonderful. Natasha, thank you. They shifted.
Brilliant. Yeah, fantastic. It's great when they clear, and this is just from taking those downloads and doing that little bit of self-digging work yourself and just asking these questions of yourself and being open to that growth that could come with it. So yeah, Emma, yours is cleared. Fantastic. Nesreen, all cleared. Dominica, all positive. Brilliant. Really well done.
Harry, yes. Nasreen, thank you. Beautiful. If you're watching the masterclass hereafter and you feel like you need some help because something hasn't shifted for you, just email us. Contact us on support@fromheadtoheart.com and we will see what we can do for you. We are here to support. You can find also this on the website, the contact forms. Okay. Doreen, I found a core belief in the process. I always have to be strong. Okay, so Doreen, can we show you from creator's perspective that you are allowed to be strong, what it feels like to be strong, without having to be strong always, and that you're still safe? Would you like that download? Okay, it's not going in. When I witness it, it's not going in. Let me have a quick look what it's relating to. By the way, is anybody else have any questions? Then prepare your question, ask them. We can do some time for questions as well in a moment. Okay, can we release the belief, if I'm weak, I'm vulnerable, for you, Doreen? If anybody else feels they have that belief, then you can say yes as well to these downloads. And can we show you that you're perfect the way you are? You're safe the way you are? You're accepted the way you are, and it's safe to be your authentic self. Anybody who wants those downloads, just say yes. Okay. Now the strong downloads at the start are going in. How are you feeling now, Doreen? Much lighter and stronger at the same time. Wonderful.
Okay, so thank you all so much for being here this evening, and for those who attended part 1 live or watched the replay as well. And thank you for those who are watching this on the replay also. Just to summarize what we've covered. So during part 1, we looked at rising above the noise, the panic and the fear. We talked about how by taking ownership of your own life, you can really take responsibility for your emotions. And that gap, that small amount of time between something happening and your reaction, you can take ownership of that time and really react in a way that brings certainty to the uncertain, instead of allowing any negativity or egotism to flow from you. We talked about hearing your inner voice and trusting your intuition, recognizing which part of yourself is talking. Is it your ego? Is it your higher self? Is it one of your angels or guides? And building trust to move into your intuition and move that beyond fear. So you're no longer fearing messages that maybe you're unfamiliar or you don't understand, and instead you're reconnecting with spirituality to be able to take new perspectives to step forward in your life. And then during this session, we've talked about finding your foundation to be prepared for uncertainty. How can we build that strong base so we're ready for uncertainty? Well, there are many ways to prepare, but inner growth will prepare you for everything and anything. Be motivated to seek out opportunities for growth, even when, and especially when, times are calm and relaxed. It's good to take rest, but also keep moving forward and keep looking for those opportunities for inner growth. By taking ownership of your growth, you will be prepared when the unknown does arrive, and often it arrives at the most unknown times. And then finally, we've closed with mitigating against the downside when the unknown does arrive. We've talked about that means that we're protecting ourselves, we're weakening the negative emotions that when the unknown does arrive and big things do happen. And we can do that by asking ourselves some really simple questions. How does it make me feel? Why does it make me feel like this? What can I learn from this unknown event or situation I found myself in? What can I learn from my reaction to this event or situation? And finally, why am I learning these lessons? So to learn the fundamental techniques and the fundamentals behind some of the methodology we've used in terms of connecting with the theta brainwave, with going on the journey to the seventh plane, to the creative all that is, to learn more about all the different stuff that we've covered, we'd invite you to come along and do a course with us. And if you've already done a couple of theta healing courses, then we're running all sorts of courses throughout the year. And we invite you to come along and see if there's something new you can learn to continue your journey of inner growth. And if you haven't previously done theta healing, then both the meditations we did in the last part and in this part, that energy testing, that changing beliefs in our subconscious mind, will teach you how you can use this technique not only on others, but also for improving your own life.
It's a wonderful way of self-development. It's a wonderful way of this inner growth we have been talking about. And if you feel this resonates with you, come and join one of our courses. Book in a discovery call on our website, and we'd love to get to know you. We'd love to connect with you and talk with you to see how we can help you, because we're here eventually to work together as light workers, to help each other, to help humanity, and to help the world move forward. Thank you for your time. We thank you for your commitment to yourself, to be here, to grow, to move forward. And you can find all the information you want, and you can be able to contact us as well through our website, which is from head to heart, from your head to your heart, from head to heart.com. And there you can find the courses, you can find practice groups we do for theta healers, and all kind of other exciting things we're up to. So thank you.
Thank you all so much for your time, for joining us for these masterclasses.
Beautiful. I just wanted to read one beautiful message from Victoria. Theta healing is truly life-changing. Can only recommend taking classes with Susie and Sam. We get a lot of these messages, and it's really beautiful. And there are a lot of thank you messages coming into the app and into the chat now. Thank you, Susie and Sam. It was a nice masterclass. Thank you, Sam and Susie, from Natasha, from Marcel. Dominica, thank you. See you soon. Beautiful.